I'd now like to introduce your speaker for today, Mr. Frank Klimko. Frank Klimko and Children and Youth Funding Report, a Washington, D.C. area-based publication which covers Congress, the Education Department, and the various federal regulatory agencies. It's a national publication that is updated daily on the website. He also edits Private Grants Alert, which covers the world of private philanthropy. Klimko is a veteran journalist with more than 30 years' experience covering federal, state, and local government. In California, he worked on a Pulitzer Prize-nominated newspaper investigative project. He's an expert on the Federal Freedom of Information Act. A nationally known speechwriter and speaker, Klimko co-produces monthly audio conferences that provide an insider's view to federal regulations, new billion-dollar spending projects, and grant-making priorities. The audio conferences have helped hundreds of listeners better position themselves for funding, burnish their applications, and get a firmer grip on the federal and private money tree. Frank, welcome to the program. We're now ready to begin.
Faith-based giving has always played an important role in funding for a range of projects. In the federal arena, faith groups aren't receiving priority points anymore, but the Trump administration has maintained the faith-based offices at the federal agencies, and these offices are invaluable in helping faith-based groups get involved in the federal funding arena and find other funding as well. Today's funding environment is hyper-focused on partnerships, and none are more important to securing funding than those involving faith-based and community groups. Today, we will discuss what these agencies offer as far as assistance, as well as take a look at some faith-based funding success stories. Among private funders, there are your faith-specific funders, but there are so many other ways for faith groups to get involved. Some large foundations and corporations are starting to fund faith-based groups. At the very least, like the federal government, private funders want to see faith-based group involvement. Today's webinar will talk about how faith-based funding works, the ins and the outs of faith-based funding, and what you need to know about finding and winning faith-based grants. The Kresge Foundation, one of the nation's premier education funders, will consider proposals from faith groups. However, faith-based organizations must welcome and serve all members of the community, regardless of religious beliefs. Before we get started, we wanted to provide an initial 5 things that you should know about going after federal funding. Number 1, be smart. Grant seekers must craft their application to the faith-based funders. Number 2, stay up to date. Unlike private grants, which have a longer application window, federal grants have a short application period. Number 3, prepare. Grant writers must be quick, and they must move swiftly to qualify, apply, and to win these grants. Eligibility. Know if your faith-based nonprofit status allows you to apply for a grant. And number 5, color within the lines. Follow all agency instructions, no matter how trivial they may seem or how much they restrict your creativity.